All right, we're gonna see if we can figure out how to get this dead Ryobi battery working again. So I've got a bunch of different Ryobi batteries here, and this one, for example, wasn't working, and now it's kind of working. We're gonna see if we can get it fully working. But yeah, so let's get started. So to pop these open is pretty easy. You need a security hex key. This one is size T10, and there's 4 screws on each side, one on the top. Once you have the right tool and you can get those screws out, you fairly easily kind of pop the top off, and then you just pop out of the bottom there. So most of these Ryobi batteries are going to be 1.3 to 2.0 amp hours, and they're going to have 5 cells. These are just your standard 18650 cells, and they're going to be wired in series to give you the 18 volts. And this one it's a 4 amp hour, so it's got 2 sets of 5, so it's 5S2P, 5 series 2 parallel. So yeah, and it's got the little button there. As you can see, it's just blinking 0, but ultimately that's probably a bad idea, but yeah, that was a bad idea. All right, but this one doesn't work, so let's just check the voltage out. So if we go to the last positive cell and the last negative cell, 3.6 volts. So if we look at this one here, this working battery, 19.71 volts. So what we're going to try is, we can check each individual cell. Again, these are have 2 each in parallel, so we can't check each one individually, but we can check each set. And 0.8 volts, 0.6 volts, 0.7 volts, 0.5 volts, and 0.7 volts. So this pack here, I just got it working, but just a few moments ago we were in the same situation, and it was only registering less than a volt across the whole pack, but now it's showing 17 volts. And if we checked each cell, they were not showing much voltage either. 3.6, 3.59, 3.59, and then these last two, 3.52, 3.51. So those last 2 cells, when I was testing them earlier, were not performing very well. The voltage was low, and they're actually getting hot when I was trying to kind of boost them up. But now, I don't know, maybe there's still hope. I would kind of figured that pack was going to be worthless, but we'll see. So this pack, I tried to boost it yesterday, and it got really hot, and it basically didn't work. But we're going to try again and see. So the first thing we do is, again, if you plug it into a charger, so let's just try that at the top. So if we try to plug it into this charger here, it's basically going to just blink red the whole time and not work. So this BMS, battery management system, kind of the circuits at the top are basically just saying this battery is dead and it's not going to let it charge because it thinks maybe something's going on, something's wrong with it, and it would cause it to explode or something. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wire it directly to this good battery, and what that will do, kind of like water flowing downhill, the voltage or the power will kind of flow downhill also. All right, so that's positive side there. You can tell it's positive because there's kind of a white ring around the end of the 18650 cell, whereas the negative is just the flat bottom of the cell, flat case of the cell. All right, so now we're going to wire it up to this battery, and when we connect this last of the 4 wires on the positive side, we're going to get a little bit of a spark. So just kind of be ready for that, but just kind of lean into it and go for it. Oh, actually not much of a spark that time. Okay, so when we checked the voltage earlier, I think it was like 3 something. So let's see what we're at now. So now 17.6. So it's basically just equalizing the voltage from this other battery. So you don't really want to leave it on here hot wired kind of too long, maybe about, some people say 10 seconds. I usually give it a minute or so just to kind of let it go. So while that's going, we can check 3.5, that's good. 3.4, 4.2, nice. 3.4, 3.5. So these are probably going to start getting hot. Let's just feel it. No. So that's an interesting kind of learning. So when I tried to do this yesterday, all right, we'll give it a few more seconds. When I tried to do this yesterday, I wired them up just like this, and the pack started getting very hot very fast, and the cells were basically dead, showing almost 0 voltage. But it woke them up. It kind of jump started them, so I just let it sit for a day, and but now a little warm, but not hot by any means. Let's see, first cell's good, second cell's a little warm, third cell's okay, fourth cell, fifth cell. So yeah, I can feel a little bit of heat maybe on that second cell, the third cell. Yeah, that third middle cell is definitely getting hot, more so than the rest. All right, we'll give it, all right, that's probably good. All right, just pop these off. Grab the magnets. All right, let's see where we're at here. And I bet 16.0 and dropping, that's dropping very fast. So that's too low, it's not gonna take a charge. Let's just see what we get here. It's not gonna charge, I don't think. No, it's too low. I think it needs to be 16 plus range, really, to take a charge. So, but it's working better today than it was yesterday. So, all right, now we're down to 15.0. It was at 16, now it's 15.0. 4, 3, 2, 1. So it's probably over the course of the next hour or less going to drop down. Again, I think it was 3 volts, but it might, I don't know, it could drop down to 10 or 8 or 6, but I bet it'll stay better than 3, and who knows, it might even, I don't know, we'll see where it lands, but might be able to try this method a couple of times and slowly but surely boost it back up into the 16-17 range to where it could register and take a charge with the charger. So back to this one, we'll kind of put that one on the drawing board. So this one again was exactly the same situation we were in with this one. just not too long ago. And so now it's showing 17.6. So obviously that's still less than, which this one's basically pretty fully charged, right at 18 volts. But it works, and is it going to charge? And it charges. So that one has some hope. We'll see how it goes. Let's see, we had another one here. Which one was it? This one. So this one was also dead and did the same method, and it seems to be working great so far. And then the first one that I did was this one, and I just kind of assumed that I was going to have to take all the batteries out and test them one by one, and that I wouldn't be able to potentially test the whole pack all together. So took them out, tossed them in kind of a battery charger, booster, tester, and ended up all 5 cells tested great. So this one tested at 1,375 milliamp hours, 1307, 1380, 1415, and then there was 5, so there's one more, and it all tested good. So probably could have left those all together, went with this boosting method, and got it working. Lesson learned. There we go. But then I had this pack, tried the boosting method, and it didn't work. So then I decided I would try to test them out, or try to even boost them back up, kind of refurbish them one by one. But after putting them in the battery tester for a couple of rounds, they pretty much were completely dead, showing less than a volt after several tries. So those batteries, all of them are dead. That pack is dead, and we'll take those dead batteries to the recycler, drop them off, they're trash, have this pack to potentially reuse, and go from there. And then last but not least, we had this bad boy. So I was a little bit, wasn't sure what to do with the 40 volt pack. I had been messing with the 18 volts with some success. This guy's a beast. I mean, it's huge, it's heavy, it's got 20 cells in there. So again, a normal size Ryobi battery has 5. This one's got 10. This one's got 20 cells at 40 volts. So a little bit scary to start getting into the 40 volt range, but decided to try to boost it and see what happens. So I took, where is it? Around here somewhere. My weed eater uses a Works 40 volt, so I just hot wired it up for a minute or two, and it ended up boosting the voltage. Connected it to the charger, it took a charge, and now it's fully charged. And so we're going to test it out and see how much power it'll draw, see if it'll recharge, see how it cycles. Certainly not going to take it apart and try to measure the milliamp hours of every single cell, but yeah, so I think this pack has a lot of life left in it. And one cool thing about these 40 volts is the charger actually has a USB port on there. So I actually don't have any 40 volt tools, but I got this dead 40 volt pack from salvage, and looks like it's working. So now I could take it camping, take it wherever I want, and I've got a what's the watt hours of this? Let's see. Oh, it's on the I don't know. This is probably 100 watts, 40 volts times 2 amp hours. So that's 80. 4 times 2 is 80. So 80 watts of power. So yeah, I think that that's going to be a win. So far we've got a win on the 40 volt pack. TBD on this one. I'm not feeling optimistic, but I'm going to give it a good try, give it a few more rounds of boosting and see where we at. This pack I think is good to go. Let's check the heat. So I think 3 of these cells were pretty good, and then I think 2 of these cells are okay at best. It's not getting too hot. It's taking a charge. A better voltage is starting to get pretty high on that one. So I had written this one off just an hour ago, and now looks like it might. I don't know. It's going to work. We'll just see how good and healthy it might be. And then we've got two other packs that we were able to salvage. So I've got some more packs to mess with. I've got this here is a rigid 24 volt. Not really sure where to go with that one, but it's actually showing 24 volts. But let's see, where do we measure this? Yeah, 23.97 volts. And it's the same for the other pack, but that's the empty one. It's the full one. But if you check the little meter on there, it's showing dead. So I'm not sure where to go with these yet, but we'll see. It'll be fun to learn. Yeah, I think that's about it. So let's just test. Let's see where we're at with this one. Oh, you're kind of moving on me. Let's stay steady. Look at that. 18.99, 18.9. So we'll kind of let that one sit for a little while and see where it equalizes at. Typically with these dead batteries, you just kind of boost them up and they kind of equalize down. You boost them up, they equalize down to a little bit higher and kind of go. But this one, where did it go? Too many batteries here to keep up with them all. Where did I put that battery? Alright, it's gone. Seriously, where did it go? Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. And it disappeared. Okay. So anyway, oh, don't beep at me. Alright. So this one again, 18.1. This one again, 18.8. Is that right? 18.8. It's going to drop on me. 18.4. Still dropping a little bit. Alright, so what do we think this one is at? So I think it was showing 15 something. I think it may even go down to 14. Alright, let's take some bets. What do we think it's at? I'm going to guess 12. 13.25. So it's probably starting to equalize. I bet we could boost that one again. Let's go ahead and try it. let's go ahead and try it. So we're at 13.23, still dropping a little, 13.22. But when we started, I think it was only 3 something, right? So plus, yep, this is the plus side. Wonder if we'll get a spark this time. I think we did last time, so. All right, I like to connect the negative side first, and then the positive side, and just lean into it in case it sparks. Just a teeny tiny spark. Pretty good. All right, so we're at 13 something. So it's probably equalizing back up. Yeah, 18.03, so we'll leave that on there for a few bits. See if this guy's dropping at all. He was at what, 18.8, 18.7. He's still dropping a little bit. I think we'll just let him rest for the night and check back in on him in the morning. Where in the world is that? Another one. Who knows? Who knows? Like that. Seriously, no clue where that went. But this guy, oh, there it is right there. All right. So this guy, I've been writing down the voltage. So I boosted it, got it working, put it on full charge. And then, man, this is putting out a lot of heat running this USB port. I don't know if that's good or bad. After the fully charged, it was about 40 point something volts, and just let it sit and rest for a while, and then it dropped from maybe 40.2 to 40.0, and kind of equalized at 40.0, which is pretty low. I would expect that a brand new one of these batteries is probably going to show closer to like 42 volts or more. But yeah, and so it kind of equalized at 40.0, and now we're just going to put a load on it, just a little USB fan or a light or something, and kind of let it run for a day and see how much it draws. And then this one, so this is the one that I got going last night. Once I got it fully charged, it equalized at about 19.1. And then I started putting a load on it, just plugging it into a little flashlight. And it went 18.7. Then it dropped down to 17.9, but then back up to 18.1. And so it's at about 18.1 now. So we'll see again how much power that one can draw. Keep it here so I don't misplace it like I did earlier. All right, well, I left this on way too long. Got distracted. That happens. That's when I set timers and alarms, but that's okay. Whoops. All right, so I bet we're getting pretty close to 18 after being on that long. Okay, 16.3, so that's not great, but all right, 17.7, so this battery probably needs to be charged again pretty soon. So this one was it 13 point something? So it's probably going to drop pretty close to the same. It's not going to take a charge at 16. I sincerely doubt it. But try. Nope. And I don't have much hope for this one. I don't think this one's going to make the cut. But we'll keep trying it and see. So we'll let that one sit overnight and see where it settles. this one, again, it was like 18.8, yeah, 18.7. So we'll let that one sit overnight and see where it settles, but it's pretty much good. And this one, oh, 16.9 now, is that right? No, 18.16. So yeah, it's actually, I've had it plugged into a flashlight for a few hours and the voltage is going up, which is interesting. But yeah, so that's a little bit of a crash course on refurbishing some dead Ryobi 18-volt batteries, and we'll check back in later and see how these went. Maybe we'll have some more batteries to test out and play with and go from there.